Boom! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at it's sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stop pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's from pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thought, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the future, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. and I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them gain, make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ET. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? And make profits. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing? And make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? And make profits. That TTG money gang. And making profits. We some snipers.
Hey yo, what's up everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Wow, I cannot wait for the week ahead. Oh my God, this is going to be such a huge week in the markets. You guys already did. There is so much happening this week in the markets. This week, this month, going to be, I think, the most important month of the entire year. I can't wait. I'm excited. I don't even want, I wish it was 8:35 a.m. so the markets could open up. Welcome, guys, to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward, former award-winning hedge fund trader, but now the current head trader at True Trading Group. I've been doing this for over 16 years, guys. Began my career working at a fund in New York City, my very first job right out of college. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession. That was the stock market crash. Also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. And now today, along with my team of 9 other professional trading mods and an over 20-person staff, we have helped thousands of traders and investors from all over the world, from all walks of life, learn to trade and profit consistently. TTG is now the fastest growing and highest rated premium online trading educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, workshops, mentorship for stocks, options, futures, crypto, all styles of trading, day trading, swing trading. Also, yes, long-term investing as well. At TTG, with our platform, guys, we take that university level curriculum and we combine it with today's top financial tools that are worth over $5,000 a year on their own. We give you access to nearly 10,000 TTG fam, the most educated, supportive, helpful, successful community of traders and investors that you are going to find. And of course, all of our real-time trade alerts from myself and 9 other professional trading mods that are part of True Trading that have been able to consistently maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80% going on now for the last 2 years. We're a family at TTG, folks, and we leave no trader behind. If you are new to this live stream or to this channel in general, make sure that you subscribe. I do this 6 days a week. You guys want to make sure that you turn on your notifications. You never miss out on any one of these lives because I'm dropping golden nuggets, free education, free lessons, free trade ideas, and what I'm doing with my own money on a daily basis. And of course, smash that like button, guys. Show us some love. So for those of you that are just joining us for the very first time, seriously, guys, welcome. What a week that we had last week. What a month. What a month of September. You know what's crazy? We came out on this YouTube channel the middle of August, and I gave you a buyer beware. Right here, go to August 15th, 16th, 17th. I give you a buyer beware in the middle of August. And ever since then, the markets have just gone straight down. We made fresh new lows of the year on Friday. Now the futures markets are trading further down to the downside here as we start this live stream. But what a week that we had last week. Friday, the bulls finally stepped aside. They gave up that 360 level on the SPY after they were holding the line for what felt like about a week there. They felt like they were just holding the line of fighting a losing battle all week long. Friday, we hit brand new, fresh new lows for 2022. Right now, people are scared. They're frustrated and they're confused. Let me explain. People are scared because they're watching their 401ks and their long-term portfolios take massive hits to the downside, taking massive losses. It's incredibly scary to watch years worth of investments lose so much value so quickly. People are frustrated because there's massive volatility in the stock market, which means huge swings both to the downside and also to the upside. Good news has become bad news. Bad news has become good news. And then just when you think that the market's bottomed, the markets go lower. And then just when you think that it looks like the rug's going to get pulled out from underneath you, the markets bounce back to the upside. So people are a little frustrated. They're a little confused. For those that are uneducated and inexperienced right now is incredibly frustrating. And for those people, nothing makes sense. Nothing's making sense. People are confused. Everywhere you look, from social media to major financial news networks and publications, there's really honestly one word that accurately describes the sentiment in the stock market and the overall economy right now. And that one word is just, it's pessimism. However, it's extremely confusing for people to hear that unemployment still remains at 50-year lows while the consumer still continues to spend their butt off. Oh, and most of the public and professional economic analysts all agree that inflation has peaked and it's starting to come down. How quickly does it come down is the big question. Gas prices are down. Food prices have started to move their way to the downside. The cost of goods like lumber, they're down. The cost of transportation and freight costs, they're down. Sure, certain things like housing is still massively inflated, but most professionals agree that that won't last for much longer either. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, though, folks. No, it's not a train that's made from the ghost of 2008 past financial crisis or the remnants of 2008's financial crisis. That's not the light that's coming at the end of the tunnel. But unfortunately, you would not know that if you watched the news and or looked at social media over the weekend. There's a lot of rumors that are floating around social media that I need to address, and we've got to kind of clear the air. First and foremost, Credit Suisse. Everybody is talking about Credit Suisse over the weekend, about Credit Suisse being a Lehman Brothers moment. Let me tell you something. If you're already talking about a Lehman Brothers moment, then the bottom of this market is a hell of a lot closer than some people might think that it is. Because the Lehman Brothers moment in 2008, 2009's great financial crisis and great crash, that literally was really where the market's bottomed. And if you're starting to talk about that, you're getting a lot closer to that than I think where people think. But Credit Suisse, the reason why people are starting to talk about Credit Suisse going bankrupt and Credit Suisse going out of business is because of a couple different reasons. And I want to address those here quickly. First of all, Credit Suisse's share price has gotten pummeled from like $14 down to $4. Okay. But just as company's stock price going lower does not mean that the company is going bankrupt. The other thing that people are really sitting on is the fact that the CEO gave a statement the other day that said, hey, we're fine. Our capital position's fine. Everything's fine. And people compared that to in 2008, the CFO of Lehman Brothers gave a similar statement that said, no, we're fine. Capital position, we're totally fine. Our liquidity issues, we're totally fine. And then shortly after, Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, stock went to zero. And it still remains to this day, the largest bankruptcy in United States history is Lehman Brothers. And that was a massive, many of you may not know what Lehman Brothers is, but Lehman Brothers was one of the largest investment banks on Wall Street at the time. And it went bankrupt, went complete belly up after 08 and 09. But the main reason why people are talking about Credit Suisse possibly going out of business is because of a massive spike or a massive widening, I should say, in their credit default swaps. Now, this might be a little over some people's heads. If you guys are brand new, you're just kind of starting to get yourself involved in the markets. But credit default swaps is basically an instrument that you can purchase that would basically give you the opposite side of a trade in case of a default. So it's a credit default swap. One person says, hey, you know what? Nope, there's going to be no default. Another person says there is going to be a default. And as those spreads widen, the risk of default starts to increase. And you saw a big spike. You saw a big spike from in that on the credit default swaps specifically for Credit Suisse just this past week. Okay. And that happened here at the end of this week. Now, that is automatically making people run around and ring the bell with their hair on fire, starting to talk about there being a Lehman Brothers moment here in Credit Suisse. Now, it is very important that I make people realize and make people understand that what is happening with Credit Suisse, first of all, the spreads on credit default swaps were actually worse in 2008 for Credit Suisse than they are now. Yes, Credit Suisse, they did just reach a 14-year high. Okay, so that is showing that a risk of default has greatly increased. But General Motors has a very similar credit default swap spread, but nobody's running around saying that General Motors is about to go bankrupt and it's about to go out of business. Now, I would also like to point out to you that as bad as this spike in credit default swaps are for Credit Suisse, in 2012, not even 2008 or 2009, in 2012, Morgan Stanley, as well as a bunch of other of the major investment banks here in the United States, not even just talking about Credit Suisse, but the ones here in the United States, were almost double what Credit Suisses are now. Did you guys see Morgan Stanley go out of business? Morgan Stanley is still here. Okay. All of the other banks who saw the big spikes and the spreads widen on their credit default swaps in 2012, when you had a sovereign debt crisis in 2012, that was why the credit default swaps all started to spike and all of the things started to widen was because of a sovereign debt crisis that happened in 2012, coming out of the great financial crisis of 08 and 09. And that's what saw all of the bank defaults, the possibility of default, all shoot higher. Morgan Stanley, I'm just using Morgan Stanley as an example because Morgan Stanley is literally almost exactly double in 2012 what the width of the credit default swaps are for Credit Suisse right now. So just because you get a spike in that product and in that security, okay, that most average people are not going to be able to even participate in those securities anyway. But just because you see a spike like that in Credit Suisse does not mean that the company is going out of business. So those are the reasons why people are talking about them going out of business. And I'll tell you guys this one thing, the Lehman Brothers moment, something listen, this is when I worked at the hedge fund in New York. I lived through Lehman Brothers. I lived through that entire scenario. Lehman Brothers was led by a man who had no friends at all whatsoever, was not a very liked person on the street, was not a very liked person politically. And the United States and the governments purposely let Lehman Brothers fail, okay? That really was kind of the final straw to break the camel's back. Credit Suisse is a little bit different. Credit Suisse, I don't think that you're going to see that they're not going to let Credit Suisse fail. Credit Suisse is kind of the national staple and standard, and Credit Suisse has always kind of prided themselves on, financial security and financial safety amongst their institutions and, international investors that put their money in Switzerland and all these other places. So I don't think that you're going to see something like that happen in Credit Suisse. But even if they were, in 2008, you had every single financial institution in the world was in serious trouble. Every single one. Everyone had their own issues. Now, when you take a look at all the other banks that are out there, you take a look at JP Morgan, you take a look at Goldman Sachs, you take a look at Bank of America, you take a look at Wells Fargo, you take a look at Citigroup, you take a look at all these other banks out there. They're in a 100 times stronger position today than they were in 2008 because of a lot of the regulations that have been put in place after 2008 and after 2009. You're not seeing the type of systemic risk in the banking system because there's not as much leverage, there's not as much prop trading, there's not as much margin, there's not a lot of different things that were the problem in 2008 and 2009. There's been regulation put in place to prevent that from happening. So even if Credit Suisse was to ever get to a point of insolvency, I can promise you, okay, well, I can't promise you, but 99% likelihood, in my opinion, even if Credit Suisse was to ever get to a point of insolvency, you would probably see Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America, they'd all come together and say, hey, Credit Suisse, how much do you need? 10 billion? No problem. Goldman Sachs goes, I'll put up 4. JP Morgan goes, I'll put up 3. Bank of America goes, I'll put up 3. Citigroup comes in, goes, I'll fill out the balance, or just one bank does it, and they just take over control of the bank. And that's probably what would most likely happen if you ever did get to a point of insolvency with Credit Suisse. I don't think the Credit Suisse would just completely fall apart like Lehman Brothers did because the government literally let Lehman Brothers fall apart. They came in with the TARP program. They saved a bunch of other financial institutions. They did not let AIG go bankrupt. They came in and saved a bunch of other things, but Lehman Brothers was kind of the last domino to fall, and they just let it go. They let it go. You're not going to see that happen with the Credit Suisse. And even if it did, I think the other banks would step in and the other banks would say, I'll give you the money, but I'm going to take over control of your bank. And then that probably would solve the insolvency issue that people are scared about with Credit Suisse. It's just literally a bunch of fear mongering all over the internet that I've been seeing for the last 2 days. And it just is driving me absolutely crazy because most people that are talking about it in a negative light weren't even involved in the markets in 2008. And every single professional that was involved in the markets in 2008 is saying the exact opposite of what you're seeing people on Twitter and on Reddit that are talking about, and people even maybe on this live stream that are talking about, but I'm not looking at comments. I'm just talking to you guys, kind of have a very serious conversation with you. But the fear mongering is starting to get completely out of hand. And when you look at some other things, other fear mongering that's been going on over the weekend, emergency Fed meeting. Oh no, emergency Fed meeting. If I see one more YouTube video about an emergency Fed meeting, you are a complete idiot. It is not an emergency Fed meeting. These meetings are completely normal. They happen almost every single month in an expedited proceeding, which is a terminology and a word that is used in every single piece of literature that is used to describe these meetings. It literally happens almost every single month. They have these kind of closed-door expedited procedure meetings. And you see these people that are coming online that either literally just have no idea what they're talking about and they're just like rolling on with the fear, or you have people that actually do know what they're talking about and they're just trying to scare the crap out of you. This meeting the Fed is having tomorrow is not an emergency meeting. Jerome Powell did not wake up Saturday morning and go, oh my God, we need to do something. Sound the alarm, call everybody. We need a meeting. Something bad is about to happen. That's not what this meeting is tomorrow. And I can't stand watching these complete idiots talk about this and have no clue what they're even saying. Okay. But that's the reality of the situation that we are in here today. It's no different than the people that talk about, oh, the stock market's going to go down 80%. Okay. It's the same type of thing. This is the problem that you all have. This is the problem. Every single person that's on this live stream, this is the problem you all have. You all have the same problem. But before I get into that, I just want to say something. Okay. I want to say something. There's one thing about True Trading Group, and that's something that all of our members already know. And that those of you that are not part of True Trading Group, if you're not part of the fam, then you'll soon find out. But we pride ourselves very, very, very much so on transparency, accountability, and trust. And we've built and continue to earn not only that trust and accountability with members, but also with non-members that are just straight subscribers or viewers of this YouTube channel. We have no secret from our members, and many times we often tend to kind of overshare with our members, but that's the way that it is. That's the way that we like it at True Trading Group. We're a full open book. We got nearly 10,000 members of the TTG family, and I treat them literally like family, and we're a complete open book, and we're fully transparent with all of them. I say this because I want you to understand that what I'm about to say is a real problem that you all have, and I just proved it to you by the information that I just shared with you, because these are a lot of the rumors that have been going on over the weekend, and I want you to understand that I am about to shoot you all straight. I don't sugarcoat anything, and I won't start now. The problem that you have right now is twofold. If you're watching this live stream, then that means you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to invest, you want to learn what the hell is going on in this market. This type of market environment is exactly where I learned. I learned in the 2008 recession, stock market crash, global financial crisis. That literally is where I learned and became the trader that I am here now today. Okay, I feel home. I feel at home in this environment. It's like this. It's happening all over again. I'm like, yes. It's like everyone's talking about recession. The stock market's crashing. It's like, yes, another major, massive opportunity for long-term portfolio building, because people make their money in a bear market. They just don't realize it at the time. But when stocks go down 50, 60, 70%, that's when you're going to make your money. That's when you're going to invest in some of the greatest companies on planet Earth at Black Friday discount prices, when the dust settles, as the dust always does and always will settle. But generally speaking, finding a resource that can be trusted and can help you in any area of life is not an easy task to do. And finding that resource, specifically when it comes where you can trust it, where something that has like the ability to help you make money or something that has anything to do with finance, is even harder. This is a very real problem that causes a lot of people to become exploited, or worse, completely give up on what it is they're trying to learn about. And that could have a very huge impact on their lives going forward. And a lot of people will fall victim to that fear mongering, which there's been a ton of it over the weekend, of this fear mongering. And I just feel like that causes people to kind of shrivel up. They kind of go back into a shell, and they miss out on all of the opportunities that a stock market crash provides them with. This is my first stock market crash. I've been through many of them, and I've excelled exceedingly, excessively in all the stock market crashes that I've kind of been able to take a part of. And we have another one that's unfolding right before our eyes, as we just made fresh new lows, down 25% now on the S&P, down about 30 or 33% on the NASDAQ now for 2022. So this is a very real bear market. It's a very real stock market crash. There's a lot happening in the stock market right now and in the economy overall, which brings me to the second part of the problem that a lot of people that are on this live stream face. There's an opportunity in the stock market right now, whether you think so or not. There's a tremendous opportunity in the stock market right now, and I'm telling you that from absolute experience and what I'm doing with my own money. But most people will not be able to take advantage of it because of the lack of real trustworthy resources, because people think that the stock market's going to go to zero, and the stock market's not going to go to zero. Okay, so let me sum this up for you real quick. This is a real problem. Lack of trustworthy, effective resources during a time of great opportunity. Let's talk about the opportunities you can fully grasp actually how big of a problem that this actually truly is. You're all living through a period right now that will be talked about in the history books. Economics, as we know it, is being completely rewritten between the last 2 years. Never before has the global economy just been turned off with a switch. You've never had that before. Never before has trillions of dollars been pumped into different systems, whether it was from fiscal policy, which is fiscal comes from governments, or monetary policy, which comes from central banks. You've had trillions of dollars pumped from both sides, from both angles, into not just the US economy, but the global economy as a whole. You've never had that before. Now, the result of that, and the result of all that stimulus and all that easing, is 40-year high inflation, not just in one country, but in the entire world. And now you have a concerted effort amongst central banks to try to get that inflation under control. This has never happened before. This will be written in the history books. So the moment that you are all living through right now, you are literally going to be through a part of history. an investment opportunity throughout history that is only written about such a handful of times. Everybody on this live stream knows about what happened in 2008. Now, fast forward 3, 5, 7, 10, 12 years from now, everybody's going to know what happened from 2020 into 2022, 2023. That period of the COVID pandemic and the recovery out of the COVID pandemic will be written about and will be talked about for decades to come. But one word that sums all of this all up is unprecedented. It's unprecedented because you've never had a situation ever where you've had a complete stock market crash where the S&P 500 has gone down more than 25% in one single year. At the same time, unemployment actually moved lower while that stock market crash was taking place. You got inflation, you have unemployment still at 3.7%. Now, this week coming up, you're going to get a new unemployment number. We'll see if that number has moved. But right now, unemployment is at 3.7%. Right now, you have about 1.8 open job positions for every one person that's looking for a job. And those jobs may not be something that you want. I know people are going to say, oh, but they're not the high-paying jobs. Or okay, yeah, fine. I get it. You can say what you want. But when you're talking about the economy as a whole, you got to talk about the big picture. You can't just be talking about your one specific instance, like your instance and what you are experiencing. You got to think about the whole. And whether you like it or not, the gig economy that's been created by Uber Eats, like Postmates, Lyft, TaskRabbit, all of these other, these gig economies have created an opportunity for people to work on their terms and earn extra money on top of maybe a job that they have that they feel isn't paying them enough, or they get laid off from their job and they do something like that in the gig economy that makes ends meet until they actually find the job. You didn't have that back in 2008 and 2009 when unemployment shot up to like 9.5%. You didn't have that. You have a massively growing, huge gig economy right now that's allowing people to earn extra income. Whether you wouldn't find that income satisfactory or not, irrelevant. You got to talk about on the bigger picture on the global scale. That's a very big deal. And you never really had that before. The point is that if you look back on every single recession there has ever been, there's never been a time when this many people have been employed and have had this many options. Now, yes, the job market will soften. I understand we're at 3.7% unemployment now. I don't need to hear that people are going to say, oh, but it's not going to stay that way. I understand it's not going to stay that way. The unemployment rate and then the labor market is the last thing to crack. It's a lagging indicator, okay? It is the last thing to go when you do have a recession. But that's why this is an opportunity and something that doesn't just last forever, considering that the average unemployment, I'm going to blow your mind right now. The average unemployment from the year 2000 to 2022 is 5.83%. Did any of you know that? I guarantee you the answer is no. You did not know that. 5.83%. That's the average unemployment rate from 2000 to 2022. You're at 3.7. The Federal Reserve just forecasted next year to be 4.4. Now, I don't think that 4.4 is anywhere near realistic. I think it's going to be higher than 4.4. So let's say the Fed is wrong about 4.4. Let's say it's 5.0. Let's say it's 5.2. Guess what? Still, historically, below the average of 5.83 over the last 2 decades. And let's not forget, over the last 2 decades, you've had 2 of the worst recessions that this country has ever seen. The dot-com bubble and 2008, where you saw unemployment spike to 9.5. The average is 5.8. You're at 3.7. But that's why I don't think that the recession and I do think we're going to have the recession. I know we're in a technical definition of a recession, which is 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. We already had that. But no economic institution is going to label an actual recession when unemployment is at 50-year lows. No one's going to label it as a recession until that unemployment rate spikes. So right now, you're still not in a recession. Now, I believe that we're going to go into a recession. I just don't think it's going to be anything like you saw in 2008. I don't think it's going to be like anything you saw in the 80s when unemployment shot up to 9.5%. I don't think you're going to see that. And the reason why I don't think you're going to see that, I think it's going to be a mild recession, a modest recession, because the unemployment rate and the labor market today, as it stands, is as strong as it has ever been. It's as tight as it has ever been in history. You never had anything like this in the labor market before. It's all because of COVID, because you had millions of people retire early and leave the workforce early. And that created a massive imbalance in demand and supply for work and for workers. And that's why you have the labor market is as tight as it is right now, right? But people are starting to come back into the workforce because inflation is kind of forcing them back into the workforce, which is a good thing because that's deflationary. The more people that come back into the workforce, that's deflationary. That helps. That brings down wage inflation. right? And that's exactly what Jerome Powell wants to see. Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve want to see wage inflation. They want to see that come down. And it hasn't yet. You just had jobless numbers last week that actually went down. It was the lowest jobless claims since April. What? The least amount of people filed for unemployment since April. Isn't the economy supposed to be getting worse? But no, the jobs market is actually getting stronger. But that's not going to stay that way, right? It will soften, but it needs to soften. It has to soften in order for inflation to come down. But that doesn't mean it has to spike to 10%. That's why I don't think we're going to have a really bad recession. Now, you combine that, the strength of the labor market, and all these extra ways for people to earn extra money. You factor all of that in. You combine that with this stock market crash that you're experiencing right now, which I still think has a little bit more room to the downside. Not a lot more room to the downside, like a lot of doomsday people are talking about, but I think there's still a little bit more downside here to come. And you truly have an unprecedented opportunity. Anyone that's confused, let me just actually simplify this for you, because the little stock market 101. Buy low, sell high. Right now, shit's pretty low. Okay, pardon my French, but stuff is pretty low, right? There is no better time to buy low than when a stock market is in full-blown crash mode and everybody is running around with their hair on fire. Remember Warren Buffett's quote, be greedy when other people are fearful. Right now, people are pretty damn fearful. All you got to do is just read anywhere on social media right now, and you would think the world is absolutely coming to an end. The problem is that most people, are unemployed or don't have the money to invest during times when the stock market's crashing like this. Usually when the stock market goes down like this, people are worried about their jobs. People are losing their jobs. That's not the case right now. But again, that's not going to stay that way forever. And that's why this is an opportunity. It's not called a guarantee. Well, guess what? As I told you before, this is unprecedented because the first time ever stock market is completely crashing, and you all most likely have a job and have money, and you're able to invest. And if you don't, which I understand some people are going to be in specific circumstances and situations, but if you don't, you're in a situation right now in an economy with the gig economy that exists where you have more options than ever before in order to make some extra money that's needed. I'm not trying to be non-sympathetic to other people that are in certain situations, but again, you got to think about the big picture. This means you have a real opportunity when the stock market is crashing to build long-term wealth. Every single time the stock market crashes, everybody's terrified to invest during that time. But then after the stock market's done crashing and it's 2 years later, 3 years later, everybody looks back and goes, oh, damn, I wish I invested. But that's because people make their money in the bear market. They just don't realize it at the time. And I've been trying to explain this to people on my live streams all year. As I told you at the end of last year, if you follow my live streams for a while, September and October, I told you last year, I was selling my long-term portfolio. And I was doing that because I expected a stock market crash this year. And I've started nibbling myself back into my long-term portfolio a little bit. I bought like 18 different stocks on June 17th, which was the prior low of the year. We've just broken that low on Friday. The futures markets are trading a little bit lower to the downside. I think there's still a little bit more room to go to the downside. But I still have a lot of cash on the sideline that I'm really going to be looking to deploy here in these next 1 or 2 weeks. I think that the month of October is going to be a real turning point for this market. I think October is going to be like a make or break. I think October is going to be the month that is going to literally determine the entire rest of this year. So much is happening in the month of October. We're going to get into that a little bit later on in this live stream. What are all the catalysts that are coming up here this month? There are so many catalysts that are going to happen this month that could make or break where this market's eventually going to bottom out. And what the combination of those catalysts, what they are, I'll talk to you about them here today on this live. That will determine where this market actually bottoms and how long it's going to take for you guys to experience a rip your face rally that takes you back into the end of the year. And I'll be like, what rip your face rally? A lot of people can't even fathom that right now in their minds. But guess what? You couldn't fathom that in June either. And you got a 17% rip into July and August. Okay, after the markets made fresh new lows, you had a massive crash in the month of June. You guys all remember the month of June. Right? A lot of people can't fathom that. But it doesn't matter how much money that you have to start with or how much time you have or you don't have. Everybody has a chance at this. The markets don't give a damn about anything else. They don't care about your political affiliation. They don't care about your gender. They don't care about your nationality. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about anything. You have the exact same opportunities. Anybody else is getting involved in the market. You can buy the exact same stocks at the exact same moment. You can sell the exact same stocks at the exact same moment. You have the same exact opportunities every single person else that's in there. But the difference is some people know what they're doing and some people don't. Some people are gambling and some people are actually trading and they're investing. There's a big difference between gambling and trading and investing. I'm talking about trading this volatility, guys, and then rolling those profits into your long-term portfolio and investing at a time when everything is going to be on sale and you have the means to afford an education to participate in that environment right now. You know, to all the naysayers that are out there, of course, investing comes with risk, okay? That's why it's called investing. It's not called guaranteeing. Now, in addition to long-term investing opportunities, right now, there is as well huge opportunities from shorter-term trading, like day trading, swing trading, stocks, options. For those who don't know, you actually can make money a lot faster in a bear market because stocks go down faster in a bear market than they go up in a bull market. And the volatility increases. Volatility simply means the size of the moves are bigger. And the size of the moves are bigger, and the size of the moves to the downside are bigger, but the size of the moves to the upside in the bear market and a stock market crash is also bigger. Many people also may not know this, but the biggest up days in history have occurred during a stock market crash. They occur in a bear market, not a bull market. So that volatility, those excessive moves to the upside, to the downside, creates insane opportunity for traders. Many members in True Trading Group are having literally had the best month they've ever had as traders in the month of September when the stock market absolutely crashed. September is the worst month of the entire year so far for the S&P, and members are having the best months that they've actually ever had in history. Right now, if you get educated, you can trade this volatility. You can use some of that extra money to keep stacking away for your long-term investments, thus creating long-term wealth. And do what you're supposed to do, which is buy when the stock market crashes rather than sit back and say, the markets are down, not a good time. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to wait for the stock to go back to all-time highs and then invest, which is the exact opposite of what you are supposed to do. Every stock market crash works itself out the exact same way. Every stock market crash is the greatest transfer of wealth from people that can't afford to lose it, and they give it to people that already have too much of it. Every single time, because stock market crashes start out this way. The professionals, the best of the professionals, they sell first. The rest of the professionals, they sell second. Retail, the average mom and pop, they sell last. Then, how do stock market crashes end? Same way. The best of the professionals buy first. The rest of the professionals buy second. Mom and pops buy last. And it is literally mom and pops taking money that they've invested over the years and they've worked their asses off to achieve, and they just hand it to hedge fund managers, financial advisors, professional traders over and over and over again for the end of time. True Trading Group exists so that we can try to get retail mom and pop investors and traders to start thinking like the professionals do. And start thinking about, okay, the S&P is down 25%, or if it's down 30%, you got to start thinking about what can I buy, not what should I sell. Stop panicking when markets go down. Stop being a prisoner of your 401k and start learning how to actually make money while the markets go down so you can then take some of that extra cash and then invest it in your long-term portfolio in some of the best companies on planet Earth at Black Friday discount prices. That is what I mean by people make their money in the bear market. They just don't realize it at the time. That's what I mean by be greedy when other people are fearful. That's what I mean by every single stock market crash is an opportunity to build long-term wealth. Go ask any rich person you know, ask any wealthy person you know, they will tell you that when there's absolute blood in the streets, that is when they make the most of their money because they act on other people's fear. And right now, you're letting your fear run rampant by some of the rumors that have been going on over the weekend on social media that I addressed already here today. The sad part is that despite the unprecedented opportunity, most people are going to sit on their hands. They're going to do absolutely nothing. They're going to feel defeated. They're going to feel frustrated. And when they eventually realize that, oh, wait, the storm is over. The dust has settled. The worst is behind us. By the time people realize that and they realize what could have been for them at that time, it may or may not ever happen again in their lifetime. This is the problem. That's the opportunity. I think True Trading Group is the solution. We exist to empower the retail trader, guys, like I said, to help you guys to learn trading profit consistently. And this is not some day trading course, you know, where you're going to join a Discord room and I'm going to tell you what stocks I'm buying. Okay, I'm not some guru who's going to tell you how I'm going to make you millions of dollars if you just buy my BS course. That's not what True Trading Group is. TTG is a platform where you get 18 university level courses, which are a simplified version of the material and the educational curriculum that I learned that I worked at a hedge fund in New York. It covers stocks, options, crypto, futures, day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, all of it. There's something for everybody inside TTG. We also combine our university level curriculum with today's top financial tools. You see, there are what seems to be an endless amount of people that offer courses about how to trade or how to invest. And even if we had the best courses out there, which I think that we do, because the stuff you're going to learn is going to be the simplified version that I learned when I worked at the fund in New York. But even if we had the best courses out there, it's still not enough to make TTG's platform different. What makes us different, okay, is by taking it to the next level and negotiating deals with some of the top fintech companies out there like Benzinga, Quote Media, TradingView, Trade Ideas, ETNA, and we've negotiated to put their products and their tools on our platform so you do not have to pay extra for them. But if you went to those companies directly, it's going to cost you about $5,000. But these are the tools that professional traders use that helps them make better decisions. And these are the tools that I think can help increase your chance of success. And I feel they're necessary if you're going to try to actually do this. And that's why we've had them on our platform and you don't have to pay for them. There's no upsells in True Trading Group for courses. There's no upsells for tools or resources. It's all included with your annual membership to True Trading Group, immediate and full access to all of it. All right. You pay your annual membership fee. You get to work without needing to spend more to get the courses or to get more to get the tools and the resources. Our chat room, obviously, you get access to with myself and 9 other pro traders that are in there from 7:30 a.m. all the way through the close. We send out all of our trade alerts to you guys in real time. There's even a mobile app that gives you the push notification. So if you're not in front of your computer, don't worry about it. That's how nearly 10,000 of our teaching members that have, some of them have, most of them have full-time jobs, are able to benefit from the program. All right. So I know that was kind of a long-winded opening, but I told you this is going to be a big week. It's going to be a big week. It's going to be a big month. October, I think, can be the month where the markets kind of change direction. I really do. I think October can be the final, can be where the markets bottom out for 2022. I think October, I said to people before, when you go back, when we go back to earlier in the year, when I was talking to people about the markets, that bottom in June, I would have thought, if you asked me 2 months ago, I would have thought that, yeah, maybe that bottom was safe. Once the Fed had their meeting their Fed meeting in September, a couple of weeks ago, and they raised their forecast for their Fed fund rates to be higher, I came on a live stream that very day. And I said, guys, those June lows are in jeopardy now that the Fed did that. Now the Fed did that, those June lows are in jeopardy. And now here we are, brand new, fresh new lows on the year. All right. We're going to map out this live stream here as follows. I'm going to do an open floor Q&A session combined with some of the top questions that we've had submitted to us. These are questions from members, but also from non-members. If you guys want to send us some questions, or you guys want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so. My Twitter handle is at MikeEdward_TTG. Again, it is at MikeEdward_TTG. Go ahead there, guys. Give me a follow. Give me a follow there on Twitter. So like I said, we also have a very special guest. Okay, we have a very special guest here that's going to join us on the live stream as well. So again, open floor Q&A. So members in the live, you guys can ask questions. Some pre-submitted questions that we got from members and non-members over the weekend. And then we got a very special guest that's going to join us. And then I'm going to lay out for you my entire game plan on how I plan on making money here this week. All right. So there we go, folks. There we have it. All right. So that's how we are going to, I see. Hold on 1 second here, folks. I think we have to welcome a new member to the family. Yes, we do. All right, guys, we got to welcome Donald. Donald is the newest member of the TG family. Everybody, welcome. What's up, Donald? Donald is the newest member of the fam. We got a new member here. Everybody, welcome Donald, the newest member to the TTG fam. Guys, listen, we started this live stream with 18 laptops. Donald just got one. That makes it 17. This is what we've got for tonight. This is all we're probably going to have for the month of October. That's what we were told by our wholesaler there, that we probably might not be able to get more. So we're down to 17 laptops. When they're gone, they're gone. We got 17 of them. This means that there are 17 left for anyone that goes to ttgoffer.com. You enter the coupon code TTG121, click apply code. You're going to get yourself a brand new Asus, HP, Acer, Dell Lenovo laptop. It's a brand new laptop. It's totally free. We cover the shipping cost. We ship anywhere in the world. You live on planet Earth. We're going to get you that brand new free laptop. Tonight at midnight, we're moving the price up to over $1,200, and we cannot guarantee that we're going to have any more of those laptops, like I said, moving forward. So tonight's going to be the last night at the $1,107 price point. That's a 49% discount on the membership to True Trading Group. It's normally $2,212. That coupon code drops it to just $1,107. Okay. So again, go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121, click apply code. The price will drop to $1,107. Again, this is going to be the last night for this sale before the price starts moving up to over $1,200, and then we're going to continue to move it up from there. You do not need to enter your address to claim your laptop. Once you sign up, you'll get a welcome email with instructions how to claim that laptop. So anyone that goes to ttgoffer.com and manually enters the coupon code TTG121, you will save 49% off the regular price of $22.12, drops it to $1,107 for the entire year. Okay. What you get to ttgoffer.com and you manually enter the TTG121 coupon code, you click apply code, the price will drop to the $1,107. We're like the Netflix of trading communities. At $1,107 gets you access to the entire platform. You pay the one price up front for the whole year. You get immediate access to all of our courses, all of our tools. There are no upsells for that stuff, ever. You get our entire 18-course curriculum, which is a simplified version of what I learned working at the Fund in New York. Joe, why don't you post the link up in chat real quick so people can actually click on the link. You guys, we're going to post a link to our syllabus. Click it. You'll see everything you're going to learn and all the courses you're going to get access to. You also get $5,000 worth of premium tools from companies like Benzinga, TradingView, Quote Media, ETNA, Trade Ideas, and more. They're all accessible on your TTG dashboard. These are the full tools. They're not trial tools. These would cost you about $5,000 if you went to the companies directly. We spend years building relationships to put their products on our platform. Of course, you're going to get the real-time trade alerts as well from myself and the 9 other pro trading mods that have been able to collectively maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80% now going on the last 2 years. You're also going to get access to the best damn community of traders and investors that all share the same goal. That's to learn, trade, and profit together. We are a family at TTG. Our members are the reason why. And of course, you're going to get our double your money back guarantee. It's actually quite simple. Chances are you're not going to need it, but it's there for peace of mind. Yes, I said a double your money back guarantee. I did not stutter. Allow me to explain how it works. You've got 12 months. That's the length of your membership, 12 months. I'm not saying you got to do all this in 30 days. Okay. You have 12 months. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one private study group. Okay. Attend just one private study group. That's all I'm asking you. We do them every single week. I'm asking you to attend one of them. If you do not make your membership fee of the $1,107 back at least once during your membership, I will give you back double what you paid to True Trading Group. So you'll pay $1,107 tonight to join. That's it. You don't pay us anything else for the rest of the year. You get access to all of our courses and all of our tools. If you do not make the $1,107 back, I'll give you $2,214 in return. That's how confident I am in our platform's ability to help you guys reach your goals. I can do that. I can offer you that double your money back guarantee without even blinking an eye because we have only had to refund about 2.6% of our users since 2016. I can also share with you that we have a retention rate, meaning how many people renew their membership, of 78%. We're 5-star rated on Trustpilot with over 1,750 reviews. Based on what members tell us, the reviews they leave, based on that refund rate, based on that retention rate, I can very confidently say that TTG has worked for thousands of people. And if you put forth a little effort, I think there's a chance that it can work for you as well. Everything you get with your membership, it's all on the checkout page. Go to ttgoffer.com, enter the code TTG121, click apply code, price drops to $1,107. Everything on that page you get for $1,107. And as long as you see a laptop on that checkout page, there's 17 of them left. As long as you see one, when you go to that checkout page, that's how you know you're going to get one of those free laptops. All right. Again, 17 of them left. This deal's available until midnight tonight, and the price will jump up there to over $1,200. So 17 spots left until midnight. So listen up, guys. This sale is also available to current trial members, previous trial members, also previous annual members. If you guys are annual member, if you were previously annual members, if you were previously trial members, or if you are currently a trial member, you do not go to ttgoffer.com. Rather, we have to whitelist your email address since you already had an account. You got to send a text message to the number at the bottom of your screen, 786-505-4049. Again, the phone number is at the bottom of your screen, 786-505-4049. 4049 right there at the bottom of your screen. Send a text message. Don't call that number. It's a text-only phone number. You send a text to that number. Even if you have questions about the membership, do not hesitate. Text us. We're an open book. Whatever you want to know, questions about me, questions about True Trading Group, questions about the courses, about the tools, about anything, you send us a text. We'll be more than happy to help answer any questions that you guys have. Again, if you see a laptop on the checkout page, you know you're getting one. There's 17 of them. TTGoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. Click apply code. That's how you guys know that you are getting one. All right. So sorry about that quick little early sales pitch, but I did want to welcome Donald, who was the newest member of our TTG family. Make sure everybody gets a fair shot. I know this is going to be a crazy month coming up here. I think the month of October is going to be the most important month of literally the entire year. So without anything else being said, without any further ado, let's move on. Let's open things up to a Q&A session. We're going to do an open floor Q&A, but we first have to welcome Alos. All right, newest member of the TTG family. Alos, welcome to the TTG family. Newest member of the TTG fam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That means we're down to 16 now, okay? So now that means that we are down to 16 of those laptops. We had 18. Donald grabbed one. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Alos, welcome to the TTG fam. All right. So there we guys have that. All right. So like I said, welcome to our new members. Let's move on. Any questions that you guys have, let's go ahead. Let's move on and let's begin the Q&A. All right, guys. So like I said, don't be shy. Type away, type your questions. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do an open floor Q&A. So people that are on the live stream, you guys can type your questions in chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And then we also have a couple of questions that were sent to us over the weekend that we're going to hit on there as well. And then don't worry about it, guys. In just a few minutes, I'll talk about the futures. We're red. We're down about 0.5 percentage point on the futures. All right. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. And then I'm going to give you guys my whole game plan on how I plan on making money here this week in the markets, what I think the market's going to do. How do we get out of this spiral on the S&P? It's actually quite simple. Okay, it's actually quite simple. You have a situation. Let me pull up my charts. Right now, you're in a situation where the markets are just in a complete sell-off. They've been in a complete sell-off since the middle of August. You have this little miniature rally here in early September when everybody thought that your CPI number for August would have gone down. And when the CPI number for August was much higher than expected, that's when this sell-off really got underway. You had 3 different catalysts that sent these markets to the spiraling to the downside, like you talk about. One was the Jackson Hole meeting, where Jerome Powell gave the most hawkish speech of his entire life. Second was the CPI number of inflation being higher than expected for the month of August. And then you had the Fed meeting where the Federal Reserve announced that they were actually raising their target for rate hikes for this year and for next year. So those 3 catalysts are what really got the market selling off and spiraling to the downside. But when you're looking at from a technical standpoint, listen, markets don't go down in straight lines. They don't go up in straight lines. The markets are getting to a point where they're going to start to be a little bit oversold. I said to you guys last week that I thought we were going to be due for a little bit of a bounce back rally, like a bear market rally. We only got one day of that bear market rally. And then you had all this stuff happen with the Bank of England. You had all this news about everything else that was happening. So there's just been nonstop flow of news. And that rally only lasted one day. And then you rolled back to the downside. We got to welcome Richard. Richard is the newest member of the TTG family. We got to welcome Richard. Now there means there's 15 of those laptops left, guys. There's 15 of them. That's it. All right. So you just have to go to ttgoffer.com. You enter the coupon code TTG121. You click apply code, and then you guys are going to be good to go. All right. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you guys know that you are getting one. All right. You have any questions? You send a text message to 786-505-4049. All right. So Richard, like I said, welcome to the TTG fam. Okay. So how do you get out of this downward spiral? Listen, right now, markets are at peak pessimism. Okay. Right now, markets are at peak pessimism. I think we needed this little flush out, into the end of September. I think the flush out might even last you through the beginning of October. But then you have a lot of stuff that's going to be happening here that can turn this market around. You have a lot of catalysts coming up. All you need is an inflation number for September to actually come down significantly. And that can bottom the markets, at least for the month of October, and you can get a little bit of a rally back. Here's a little fun fact about the S&P. I love these little historical stats. If you like historical stats, then you're going to love this. The last 6 times that the S&P fell more than 5% in the month of September, all right, the last 6 times that you've had that happen in history, 5 out of the last 6 times, the markets were green in October by an average of 7%. Now, 7% bounce is nothing to sneeze at. The smallest bounce back, I think, was 2%. The biggest was I don't know. I think it was 14% or something like that. The average, though, is 7%. Okay, so on average, when the S&P drops more than 5% in the month of September, on average, it's green the month of October by about 7%. The only one time that the markets continued down after going down more than 5% in the month of September was in 2008. 2008, the S&P went down 9% in September and then went down another 17% in October as the global financial crisis just really came to a head. All right, so only one time before in history, you've had the markets be this red in September and continue to be more red in the month of October. So history would tell you that the markets are going to be due for a bounce. But there's a lot of things happening here in the next couple of weeks that could either help or hurt the chances of that bounce. Next question. Yeah, don't be shy, guys. Just fire away. Type your questions. We'll throw them up on the screen. Purchased long-term early last month, now down 15%. So you purchased right into the heart of the August rally. Sell now to minimize losses or hold and risk losing more. Depends on what your time horizon is, stock trader. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really advise you on what to do with all your retirement stuff. I can only tell you what I'm doing with my own money and give you guidance on my opinions. But this is why I in the month of August, I was on my live streams the beginning of August and the middle of August, kind of telling people hey, listen, buyer beware, because I was getting bombarded with questions from people in August, like the beginning of August, the middle of August, about Mike, did I miss it? Did I miss it? Did I miss it? Did I miss my chance? Did I miss my chance? I told every single person that asked me that in August, I said, no. Do not chase this market to the upside. You are going to get another opportunity to add in your long-term portfolios. Do not chase that move to the upside. So stock trader, I'm sorry that you kind of got sucked in there on that August rally. But in my opinion, it depends on what your time horizon is. If you're someone that's getting ready to retire in a year or so, then yeah, you might want to think about, maybe lightening things up a little bit. But if your time horizon, if you're investing this for the long term and you're talking about 3 years, 5 years, 7 years down the road, I think you're going to be just fine. It also depends on what you actually bought. I'm not really sure what you actually bought. If it was individual stocks, if it was like an index fund like the S&P, I'm not really sure. But I always look at it from a long-term perspective, and I sold out the bulk of my long-term portfolio at the end of last year. I've added some. I added a real small amount when the S&P got to 3,800. I added a bigger chunk when the S&P got to 3,600, but I still have a lot of cash sitting on the sideline, and I'm targeting 3,400 area for my next real big load up in my long-term portfolio. We got to welcome Philip. Philip is the newest member of the TTG family. We got to welcome Philip. Philip, that means now there's 14 of those laptops now remaining. Everybody welcome Philip. All right, everybody welcome Philip. There's 14 spots left now, guys. Again, all you got to do is go to ttgoffer.com. You're going to enter the coupon code TTG121. You'll click apply code. The price will drop all the way down to $11.07. That's a 49% discount. If you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. You do not need to enter your address. You'll get a welcome email with instructions how to claim that laptop once you guys actually join and become full-time members of the TTG fam. So welcome, Philip. Welcome, fam. All right, guys, what I want to do here right now, actually, I got a very special guest. It's already been an hour. I can't believe it's already been an hour. It's already been an hour on this live stream. This is crazy. I still have so much that I want to talk to you guys about here because there's so much happening in the month of October. It's insane. There's so many catalysts, and I'm going to get into all these catalysts. There's an enormous amount of economic data coming out this week. Then you've got inflation data. Then you've got earnings. You have so much happening in the month of October. I really think October could be the make or break. I think the markets are going to turn around. October is going to be the month that kind of confirms that. And October could be the month that the markets put in the low for 2022. And I do think that's a very, very, very high possibility of the markets putting in that low in the month of October. But I think we got to finish this flush out here for the next week or so, and then we can start thinking about what are all those catalysts that I just mentioned, how do they all unfold, and do they line up for a significant bounce and another bear market rally similar to something that you saw in July and August. I think that's lining up for November, December, but it all rests on what happens here in October. I do want to bring on our special guest, though. I told you I had a very special guest joining us today in this live stream. In order to bring on this special guest, I am going to bring on my business partner and co-founder of True Trading. Go ahead and welcome Adam. Adam, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to get right into it. So we're bringing on a member tonight that someone that is very, very beloved inside of True Trading Group. This person is a staple inside of STR. She gives a ton of her time to the group, and someone that's been a member for just about 2 years. Please welcome the last username, the last unicorn. How are you?
Hello?
Yep, you're live. Hello? Hello?
The last unicorn, did we lose you? I think we're having some technical difficulties here, guys, with the last unicorn. I don't think she can hear us.
No, she can hear us. Oh, no. She can't hear us. We can hear her.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, great.
Hi, Adam.
Welcome.
Hi, Mike. Hi, family.
Hey, how are you?
Awesome. So thank you so much for coming on last minute. I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, guys, if you're an STR member, you will definitely know who this person is. If you've been a TTG member for a while, you'll definitely know who this person is. You've been a member for just about 2 years, right?
Yeah, just about.
Got it. And you have become quite the staple inside of chat. So you've been running a lot of workshops and webinars inside of the STR chat room, right?
Yes.
Awesome. How is that going?
It's going awesome. We had a really great night last night where we actually had one of the moderators, Gio, was in STR with us, and we really got to do a really cool thing with him last night that I think everybody really liked and really loved. So we actually 2% is talking about making that a staple for us to do, sort of like a back testing thing where we're going and one's a bull, one's bear, and it's just very interesting to be doing it. It's very, very educational. So it's awesome.
Nice. And let me ask you a question. What do you do for a living?
I trade.
You trade?
I'm a trader. Yes, I'm a trader. Yeah.
Nice. How long have you been trading for?
I'm thinking probably like 12 years now.
So let me ask you a question. So that means you would have had a decade of trading experience when you joined True Trading Group, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Why did you need to join?
It's funny because the live streams I heard the live streams and I I have been interested in day trading, which I had never done before and did not have any education to do that. And although I did ask Mike that if there would be a place for me there because I'm a swing trader and, because everybody likes to be educated, I like to be educated. I learn something every day and I love learning every day. And so first of all, I was going to come because you guys could probably teach me more about swing trading, but also the day trading was something I hadn't had any training on and I really wanted to learn how to do. And the fact for the group. I mean, when people say in this chat room, AO family and stuff, they like really mean that. This is a family in here, and everybody helps everybody else, and everybody cares what's going on with everybody else and what other people need. And that's why STR is the best thing ever created, because members actually get to be in there and help members. And so we get to learn from each other every day, on the weekends, all the time. The moderators here are so fantastic. And so they even come in there and they give the extra education. And we really are a family. I mean, I actually love all of you guys. I love being with you guys and talking trading. I love learning from every single one of you. And I just cannot, I'm so grateful that I found this on this live stream. I just can't imagine having anything else, because this was just one of the best decisions I've made ever.
Wow. Thank you.
You guys have earned this 100%. This is all you.
That is incredible. No, thank you so much. And so this has been a tough year for a lot of people. As far as, people that are a little bit inexperienced or uneducated or really don't know what's going on. How have you done this year?
It's funny because I'm just going to say that I've done well, because even more so than just the money, making the money, I have learned so much this year, just in this 1 year period, almost more education than I've got of 10 years in trading, right? Because if you remember those 10 years that I was trading, what was that market doing? It was uptrending. It was like this humongous big bull market. And until COVID, I hadn't really seen anything like that before. And so being in here with you guys and listening to Mike and listening to what he was saying and with his experience, that was my education. And just being able to sit in here and get educated that way by seeing what was happening and having somebody else walk me through what was what am I doing? What's going on? What's the next step? It has been absolutely incredible. And so between him and Jessica, I have to give a shout out to Jessica, because Jessica has been a lot of help to me as well. Another moderator. And I have learned so much on this that there's never, ever going to be another downside that takes me by surprise. And I'm going to know what to do every time.
Wow. No, that is incredible. And let me ask you a question here. You are a lifetime member of True Trading Group, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Proudly. Very proudly.
Do you feel that it was? Do you feel that there's a big benefit to that, and has it made a difference in your own trading?
I would absolutely say there's been a humongous benefit in it. And I don't know, with the things that came with the lifetime membership as well, was just you automatically get introduced to a whole lot of different stuff, right? And so then all of that stuff with it, the Trader Paloozas, the STR, is a great educational extra tool almost, right, that you get. And so I would say it's made a humongous difference in my trading. And I would not want any other way. So I'm sorry. I'm just feel so lucky to be a part of this group. So I'm just very grateful.
That is awesome. No, thank you so much. And honestly, thank you so much for giving of your time to other members that I know that you're helping a lot of people after hours on your own time. And I know that we're all extremely grateful for you doing that. So thank you so much. And thank you for coming on so last minute.
Oh, absolutely. No problem. And to everybody else, I just want to remind them how much I get from them too, every time I'm in STR. And I think that's really important, because every member has something to offer, and they all have something to give also to the group. And I just wanted to remind them all to make sure to do that. And I'd love to hear them on STR talking to us about what they've gained and what they've learned. So I just wanted to put a shout out to the members now, just to tell them that right here. Come on, guys, help me out here. Come on to STR and teach us what you've got. Teach us what you're learning.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you too. And thanks, Adam. Thanks, Mike, so much. You guys are awesome. You've built a beautiful business, and I'm very grateful to be in it.
Oh,
with you.
Thank you. We're even more grateful you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Wow.
Awesome.
Dude, it's incredible. It really is incredible, what members are accomplishing with each other on the platform and inside the community. It really is just truly amazing. And the last unicorn, like I said, someone that you all know very well, has been participating a lot. So it was nice to have, a very, very experienced trader kind of come on here and kind of share their thoughts and share their experiences with how they've been benefiting from everything that we've been talking about here. Listen, guys, for everyone that's asking about the emergency Fed meeting tomorrow, I hear there's a lot of people that are commenting right now about this emergency Fed meeting. I addressed this earlier on in the live stream. If I see one more person like throwing out crazy, like fear mongering about this Fed meeting tomorrow, it's going to drive me nuts. This Fed meeting tomorrow, it's not an emergency meeting. These meetings that are held under the expedited proceeding, that term gets kind of thrown around a lot and kind of scares people. These meetings actually happen very, very often. They don't happen every month, but damn near close to it. There's only a couple of months a year where this type of a meeting, with this type of closed door, expedited, proceeding type of meeting would happen. I've already talked about this earlier in the live stream. It is not an emergency. It's not Jerome Powell woke up this morning and was like, oh my goodness, we have to have a meeting tomorrow because there's an absolute emergency. That is not what this is tomorrow, guys. So you guys do not need to be going to sleep tonight scared for what's going to happen with the Fed tomorrow. This is not anything that is out of the ordinary. So sleep easy. Okay. We got to welcome Dave. Dave is the newest member of the TTG family. Everybody welcome Dave. There are now just 13 of those laptops remaining, guys. That's going to be it. We're going to be going here quick. Once we get them to be 10, they're probably going to fly. So go to ttgoffer.com, use the coupon code TTG121, and that will give you the 49% discount. That will drop that price from $22.12 down to $11.07. And the next now 13. We had 18. It's now down to 13 people that are going to be getting access to that brand new free laptop. Guys, listen. How many people on the live stream right now that are not members of True Trading Group? Do me a favor, type the letters TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. Okay, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, just type the letters TTG. I want to see how many people on the live stream. We've got about 1,300 people that are with us live right now. If you're not a member, type the letters TTG in chat right now. All right, we've got Callie Biker. Joe F. Who's your daddy? Let's go ahead and type the letters TTG, guys. Tajani, Al Bale, Fernando, Halim, Cornelius, JDT Beats, Paula, Lego Hot Wheels Madness. I like that username. Mohammed M. Hey, cool guys. Welcome to the live. Everyone here that's not a member. All right, Amazon Ron, Abdul. Yeah, welcome guys. Welcome. Listen. So I see there was a couple of people asking about the membership. Listen, I have a lot of stuff that I still want to go over with you guys. I want to talk about what my game plan is and how I plan on, what I think the market's going to do this week, how I plan on making money. We've got to talk about the futures are down about 0.5 percentage point. They've kind of, they're bouncing back a little bit further, actually. So the last time I checked, we were down about 0.5 percentage point. Now we're bouncing back just a little bit, starting to move back to the upside there on the futures market. So we got to talk about what the futures are doing. And I want to go with you all of the catalysts that we have coming up this week. There's a ton of catalysts coming up this week. And I want to talk about why I think October could be the make or break month of the entire year, when I think the markets could kind of bottom out there in the month of October. So I want to talk about all that. Bear with me for a couple of minutes. There's a couple of people asking about the membership. So let me explain to you guys about the membership, how you guys can join. Because when you join TTG, you have to understand that you're joining a platform. It's not a Discord where you're just going to get a chat room and I'm going to tell you what I'm buying or selling. That's not what your trading group is. You're going to get access to a professional level of trading education that is similar to what I learned when I worked at the fund in New York. Okay. Our curriculum is both in-depth and complex, yet easy to understand and implement quickly, whether you never traded a day in your life or you've been doing this for 10 years and you're looking to kind of, gain an edge and take your trading to the next level. Our platform can help you guys reach your goals. People ask, all the time, like what makes us different, from other trading courses. And for starters, the fact that we're a platform. You're not just getting access to the courses and tools, but you're also getting access to premium tools and resources, like I said, that would cost you around $5,000 a year if you purchase them on your own. Okay, these are courses and tools like Benzinga. You get their real-time news feed and their Squawk Box feature. You get TradingView's premium charting software. You get Quote Media's full book level 2. You get unusual options activity, options flow. You get dark pool data. You get the trade ideas scanner. You get a simulator from ETNA. You've got on top of the courses, there's a video library with about 300 hours of workshops and webinars that we've talked about with members. You get all of our transparent alerts from day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, cryptos, futures, stocks, options. We trade it all in TTG. A full trading journal, scanners, analyst ratings, and so much more. And on top of that, you're joining a community of traders, about 10,000 of the TTG family members, many of which, like the last unicorn that you just had on here on this live, that generally give a damn about whether you guys succeed or fail. And of course, you're going to get access to all the trade alerts, like I said, from myself and the rest of the 9 professional trading mods that have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80% now going on the last 2 years. Results matter at True Trading Group, guys. Results matter, and they're quantifiable. That's why we have that double your money back guarantee, and it's based on your actual P&L. The bottom line is that members in True Trading Group, they're making money. They're becoming better traders in the worst month of the entire year, in the worst year that the market has had is since 2008. You're still having members that are having some of their best months and some of their best years, and they're making money. They're becoming better traders. Don't believe me? Just watch this. Members, if you're a member of True Trading Group, type the $ in chat if you're making money and you're becoming better traders. Just go ahead, type the $. Are you making money? Are you becoming better traders, even in this market environment? I want you to go ahead right now, type the $ in chat. Anyone that's on this live that's not a member, my advice to you is to pay attention to how many people are about to type the $ on this side of the screen, because these are going to be your peers. These are people that found TTG the exact same way that you did, the exact same way the last unicorn did that was just on the live. They found us on one of these live streams. And now they're telling you they're making money. They're becoming better traders. They had all the same excuses that you have. They worked full-time jobs. They, have small accounts. They've lost money in the market before. They've had no experience whatsoever. But yet now here they are telling you that they're making money and they're becoming better traders. If they can do it, guys, so can you. There's no difference between them and you. They're not smarter than you. They don't have more money than you. They don't have more experience than you. If they can do it, so can you. Now, listen, we've been steadily moving the price of this membership back up. You could have grabbed it for under $1,100 just the other day. Now it's up to $1,107. We're going to move this back up over $1,200. Okay, you guys have until midnight tonight to get the 49% discount. Okay, you have till midnight tonight to get the 49% off, and the next 13 people to do so are going to get themselves a brand new free laptop. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, you guys are going to get one. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com. You enter the coupon code TTG121, click apply code. Price drops down to $1,107. You see a laptop, you're good to go. You don't have to enter your address. You'll just get a welcome email after you join. There'll be instructions in there how to claim the laptop. Send a text message to 786-505-4049 if you have any questions at all whatsoever about this membership. Again, 786-505-4049. The phone number is right there at the bottom of your screen. And do not forget that every single person tonight will get a double your money back guarantee. I didn't stutter. I'm dead serious. I don't think you're going to need it, but it's there for peace of mind. You've got a whole year. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. We do a study group every week. I'm telling you, attend one of them. If you do that and still cannot make back your membership fee at least once, the $1,107, you can't make that back. I'm going to give you back $2,214. That's the deal when you join True Trading Group. And I can do that because we've only had to refund about 2.6% of our users since 2016. And we have a retention rate of 78%. That's how many people are renewing their memberships. But trading is a zero-sum game. How can this make sense? If I had a winning strategy, I'd scale it to the moon and keep it hedge fund secret. Yeah, see, that's the problem with a lot of inexperienced people. They think that there's a secret. They think that there's like a special strategy or a special equation or a special indicator or a special chart pattern. Trust me, guys, I've been there, worked at a fund on Wall Street. Literally, our office was on William and Wall. There is no secret. There was no secret equation that they gave me. There was no secret formula. There was no secret strategy. There were no secret bundle of indicators that only hedge funds knew about, and they didn't want you, Al, the little guy, to know about because that would ruin their edge. There is no secret. The only secret is you have to think of it this way. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm going to try this trading thing. They put $1,000 in a Robinhood account. They just go on Reddit and they're going to start trading thinking that they're going to have any chance at success. You're going to have a 92% chance of failing if that is what you do. The real secret is that when I got hired at the fund, the first 3 months of my employment was in a classroom style setting as I went through their educational training program. They did not let me touch $1 of their money until I actually got trained and educated on how to do this properly. So why should you start using your money without being trained or educated properly? That's the only real secret. The only secret is just actually get an education on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Stop just throwing stuff against the wall and hoping that sticks. All right. All right, guys. So like I said, you just got to go to ttgoffer.com. You enter the coupon code TTG121. You click apply code. That price drops all the way down to $11.07. You guys are good to go. All right. You got that double your money back guarantee. The next 13 people will get themselves the brand new free laptop. Once you guys, as long as you see it on the checkout page, that's how you know that you are good to go. Yes, exactly. The secret is there is no secret. that is the secret. The secret is just an education. It's just like any other skill in life. It's not a secret. It's still no different than any other skill in life. All right. Okay, guys. And like I said, don't forget, if you have any questions, 786-505-4049. And you guys, if you have any questions, send a text message. Don't call that phone number. Just send a text to it. Don't call that number. Just send a text to it. We can't answer the phone. If you do call, it's a text message only phone number. All right, guys, let's roll things on over. I want to get into the overall markets. I want to talk about how I plan on making money this week and what are all of the catalysts that we have coming out this week. Let's do a quick check on these futures. Futures are really moving around here, guys, while we are doing this. While we've been doing this live, we were down at one point. We were down, about 0.7%, and the futures have started to rally back here just a little bit. So trying to move themselves back to flat, back to break even. So you're getting a nice little bounce attempt there on the futures, but there's a whole slew of data that's coming out here this week. So let's talk about this. I think that the month of October could be the most important month, for the rest of the year here, because I think the markets have a chance of bottoming in the month of October. You had this big sell-off here in September. We finished Friday with a brand new, fresh low of the year, but there are so many things happening just this week alone and then this month that could bottom this market. So let's go over just a couple of things that are happening this week. Why I think that there's never been a time, if you guys have been sitting on the sidelines this entire year, October is the month that you guys got to get your butts involved, because the markets could bottom here for 2022 in the month of October. You don't want to miss out on that chance. I know everyone's like, oh my God, the sky is falling. And that's exactly when markets will tend to try to start to bottom out. And I think you can experience that here in the month of October. You're going to get literally just this week alone. You want to talk about economic data? This week alone, you're getting S&P manufacturing, ISM manufacturing, construction spending, motor vehicle sales. Oh, and by the way, the New York Fed President, John Williams, is speaking. That's just tomorrow. All those things are coming out literally just tomorrow. Then on Tuesday, Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mesta is going to be speaking. You're going to get job openings. You're going to get job quits. You're going to get factory orders. You're going to get Fed Governor Philip Jefferson is going to be speaking. Okay, that's his first speech actually as a Fed governor. And then you're going to be getting the San Francisco Fed President, Mary Daly, is also going to be speaking. That's all just on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, you're getting the ADP employment report, the S&P Services PMI final revised number, and you're also getting the Atlanta Fed President, Raphael Bostic, is going to be speaking. That's on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, another speech from Fed President Loretta Mester, another speech from Lisa Cook, another speech from Loretta Mester. Okay, that's on Thursday. Then on Friday, biggies, big ones on Friday. Friday, you're getting non-farm payrolls, the unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, labor force participation, a speech from Fed President John Williams. You're getting inventory revisions, another speech from the Minneapolis Fed President, consumer credit numbers. That's all on Friday. That is an unbelievable amount of economic data that's going to be coming out here this week. All of this data could potentially move this market. This is why you guys need to get your butts involved now. Do not let this market put in a low in 2022 with you doing nothing, because I think the markets could put that low in and could bottom out here in the month of October. Because you want to know what else you're going to get aside from all of that economic data that's coming out here this week? The following week, you are going to be getting CPI numbers for the month of September. October 13th, you're going to get CPI. Okay? October 13th, you're going to get CPI numbers for the month of September. We got to welcome Helden. Helden is the newest member of the TTG family. That means we are down to just 12. We are down to just 12 now, guys. We started with 18. We're down to 12. Everybody welcome Helden. Guys, again, just go to ttgoffer.com. You enter the coupon code TTG121. You click apply code. Price drops 49%. That's it. Don't pay another dollar for the rest of the year to get all the courses, all the tools, all the resources. It's all included. Even if you never traded a single one of the moderators' alerts, you're getting $5,000 worth of tools on the platform. You don't have to pay another dollar for them. They're all included with that $11.07 price point. I'll show you what's included in the platform in just a little bit. Okay. But I want to go over the rest of this, what my game plan is here for the rest of the week. Okay. Do you think October is a good time to start considering, end of the year leaps? There's no such thing as end of the year leaps. If you're going to do a leap, you got to be at least a year out. You got to be looking like maybe like the end of 2024. And you're asking me if I think October would be a good time to start buying like leaps out to the end of 2024, then I would tell you that in the month of October, yes, I do think the month of October would be a good time to actually start to do that, because I actually think the market's going to bounce back into December. I think we're going to flush this out here in October, and the markets will kind of stabilize a little bit. And I think we actually experience a little bit of a bounce in November and December. I still think these markets can bounce November, December. It's all going to rest on what happens with that inflation data. There's a lot of signs that inflation is starting to roll over just in different areas. It's not rolling over all at once. The areas of inflation that are actually have the biggest impact on CPI are the ones that are being the most sticky, like wage inflation, rent, shelter, real estate. Those prices are not coming down as quickly as some of the others. Obviously, you saw oil, energy prices have come down a lot. You had freight costs have actually come down a lot, which in my opinion is a big component there. Freight costs have come down a lot, and freight times are also back to where they were before the COVID pandemic. So freight times are back to normal. Freight costs are back to normal, and that's a big factor of inflation. But you still have other areas that are still very sticky. So you got to see what parts of inflation come down and which ones stay elevated. The core inflation numbers are going to be what's important. Okay, the core inflation numbers for the core CPI numbers for the month of September are going to be very important. The core numbers is inflation once you minus out food and energy prices. Food was a pain in the ass last month. Okay, energy prices came down a lot. And I expect you don't really see, energy prices really moving too much higher than where they were the month prior. So especially regarding oil. So I don't think you're going to really see too much of an uptick there, but it's really going to be all about that core number. What's inflation look like minus food and energy? Does that actually start to come down in September? And you're going to find that out on October 13th. And if that is the case, if inflation does come down meaningfully, I'm not talking about if it comes down 1 or 2/10 of a point. We were at 9.1 from June. We were at 8.5 in July. We were at 8.3 in August. If you come out with like an 8.2 or an 8.1 in September, that's going to be a bad number. The markets will probably continue to the downside. But if that number drops into like the mid to low sevens, just saying, let's see if it does. If it does actually drop down into the mid to low sevens, that's going to be a meaningful drop in inflation. I think people would feel very confident that, okay, now inflation's finally broken. It's starting to come down, and then the markets can actually experience a little bit of relief bounce going into the end of the year and a little bit of a Santa Claus rally, which I still think is going to happen. The further we go down now, the more likely I think that end of the year bounce takes place. But I want to flush it out now.
Yo,
what up?
What up? You know that guy Holden?
Holden?
Yeah, you said Halden, but it's Holden.
Holden, H-A-L is pronounced Holden.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Sure.
He originally signed up. Yeah, Holden. He originally signed up in 2018.
Oh,
He
wow.
was. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. He signed up November 24th, 2017.
Wow.
And he left a little while after that. And he left in 2019 and just came back. And he posted in the live chat tonight. I was around when there was like 40 to 60 members. There's like close to 10,000 now. That's crazy.
That is pretty cool. Welcome back, Holden.
Yeah, no, I recognized the email tonight. I was like, oh my God. That's it. That's excellent. Well,
Yeah.
A lot has changed.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Holden. Glad to have you back to the family. It actually happens really, so a lot of people have come back from when our early days. TTG has grown a lot since 2017. 2017 is really when we, really kind of launched there to the public. We really, went live in 2016, but a lot's changed, guys, in the last 5 years or so. TTG has grown a lot, and we've come a long way, and continue to build and continue to grow and continue to add value to this platform for the 10,000 TTG fam.
Yeah, and growing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And growing. So, yeah, no, it was really cool to see that. I'm interested to see what he thinks about the platform, because he hasn't seen it since 2019.
Right.
So,
yeah, lots changed. I would like to see it, get his thoughts. Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay. So yeah, guys. So that's the month of October. So you have a lot happening in the month of October, and I think if we can flush this out here to kind of start October, I think we can get to a point where we're at enough of I think we're at enough of a technical oversold situation where I think we need to get that VIX. The VIX started to climb last week. We got the VIX up into the mid 30s. You get that VIX spike up towards 40, really flush it out here this week. That can give you kind of a nice little area for the markets. It give you a nice little bear market rally and give you a nice little bounce as the markets are overstretched and oversold to the downside. Just remember, nothing goes down in a straight line. Nothing goes up in a straight line. And I do think that we're going to be set up here for a bit of a bounce in October if these catalysts start to kind of come to fruition. You also have earnings in October. Okay. So once you get to the middle of October and then into the end of October, you're going to have all the big boys, all the big companies are going to be reporting earnings as you get into October. And everyone is anticipating major earnings revisions to the downside now that the Fed has kind of moved their target for the Fed funds rate higher into the end of the year and into next year. Everyone is expecting revisions on earnings. And I think you're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get a lot of revisions to the downside, but we got to see if it's as bad as people think. We got to welcome Roxana. Roxana, welcome to the TTG family. That means we are now down to just 11, guys. 11 of those laptops now remain. Welcome, Roxana. Guys, again, you just have to go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121. You see a laptop, you're getting one. The price drops to the 1107. There's no upsells for courses or tools. They're all included for the 1107. And don't forget, you've got the double your money back guarantee. If you can't make the 1107 back at least once, I'll give you $22.14. And I can do that again because we've only had to refund 2.6% of our users. And we have a retention rate, meaning people that renew their membership, of 78%. All right. So you guys, if you have any questions, send a text to 786-505-4049. And that is how you guys can reach out to us if you have any questions at all whatsoever. You want to jump on this for the price climbs, guys. You could have got this membership the other day for less than $1,100. It's now $1,107. It's going to continue to climb. We're going to jump it up back over, go back up towards $1,200 here after midnight tonight. So the next 11 people can get the $1,107 price before it goes up, and you can get the free laptop. All right. Cool. Roxana, welcome to the family. All right. So back to October, right? Earnings. Everybody expected when you got to your June, when you got to your summer earnings season right here, everybody expected earnings revisions to come down here during this period of earnings. And what you saw was, did some earnings miss and did some earning revisions come down? Yes, but some no. And some earnings were actually much better than people had expected. And then you got your CPI numbers, which were better than was expected. And then you got this nice little move to the upside, right? You got this, and the Fed was not as hawkish as people thought with their July meeting. A lot of people misinterpreted Jerome Powell's words for dovish and thinking that that they were going to do a rate cut, which was the reason why the markets rallied, which was the wrong reason and it really pissed off the Fed and pissed off Jerome Powell. And that was the complete wrong thing for the markets to price in, but nonetheless they did. And the markets gave you that rally in July and August. You're about to come up on another earnings season, and the earnings are expected to be terrible. Everybody is expecting more earnings revisions like you saw out of FedEx, right? FedEx had their worst day FedEx has had, worst earnings day that FedEx has had in like 2 decades. But they revised their guidance to the downside, right? That was FedEx. General Electric also gave you an earnings warning a couple of weeks ago, and you had the big gap down. That stock has traded lower since then. So you have a lot of companies already came out with warnings. So, you had Apple. Apple came out and Apple said that they were, cutting their plans for production increases, not necessarily revising earnings, but cutting plans for production increases. That has sent Apple stock cratering over the last 2 days. So as you come into this earnings season, everyone's eyes are going to be on not necessarily what did the companies do during this previous quarter, but what do they expect going forward? Okay, that's the big question. Like as an example, you had Nike report earnings, and they actually beat earnings. They beat earnings per share. They beat on sales. But Nike's big issue was guiding forward and the inventory that they are sitting on. They saw like a 65% surge in inventory, which is just, which a lot of people are scared of going forward because a lot of people either double ordered or a lot of people pulled forward production because of how long it took to get the production times. And now they're stuck with all this inventory, and you're stuck with elevated inventory into a slowing economy and a consumer that's spending less. So if you have more inventory and consumers are spending less, then that becomes a problem for companies as they sit on that inventory and are going to have to mark that inventory down, which hurts them and their financial and their outlook going forward. That's why Nike got obliterated on Friday, was because of that warning going forward and the inventory that they're stuck with. So it's Nike, it's FedEx, right? It's GE. These are the companies that you've already come out with those revisions. Do you get a lot more of that? I think you will. I think you're going to get a lot more companies that are going to have earnings similar to what you saw there. But then you're also going to have some other companies that are not going to give you that type of guidance. Like, every time you listen to Costco CEO is like, I don't know about everybody else, but inflation has come down for us. All of our costs have come down. The cost of this. Inflation's peaked for us. Things look good. Consumer is still, very loyal and paying for. I love Costco because Costco is a membership model. And such a huge portion of their revenue is already, they know exactly how much money they're going to make because of those memberships that they already have. I love that model with Costco. So you're going to have some of these other companies that are not going to give you such doom and gloom earnings. Maybe some companies don't revise earnings, but that's going to be the determining factor of everybody expects horrible earnings guidance and horrible revisions if they are not as bad as everybody thinks they're going to be, which is kind of what happened there in June and July. June and July, they were not as bad as everybody thought they were going to be. If you get another situation where they're not as bad as everybody thinks they're going to be, and if you get a CPI number on October 13th that is under the expectation, that gives you clean runway for the markets to bounce into the second half of October, and then that would take you into November and December. And if inflation continues to come down, if you get the CPI breaks in September, if it breaks again in October and it continues to move to the downside, you could very easily get an end of the year rally in November and December. But these catalysts have to align. These catalysts have to cooperate. Now, what's funny about the CPI numbers is that in June, CPI was much worse than expected. That's why you got the huge sell-off there in June. July, it was better than expected. Then in August, it was worse than expected. So you went from worse than expected, better than expected, worse than expected. Let's see if we get better than expected now coming into September. All right, let's see if we get better than expected coming into September. How much do you think it will bounce in November and December? I think I mean, listen, I think if these catalysts start to work themselves out, okay, if these catalysts cooperate in the month of October, I think that you can see a bounce back. I would say you can get back up to like the 3,800s, 3,900s. Previously, before the Fed meeting in September, so prior to the Fed moving their targets up, I thought we could probably finish the year around like 4,000, 4,100 and finish the year there before you go into 2023. Now, I have a very specific game plan on what I think is going to happen in 2023. But then once the Fed changed their target at the September Fed meeting, that changes. So I came on my live stream that day when the Fed gave you and they moved their target for the Fed funds rate. And I said, guys, listen, those June lows are no longer safe. And then you got to start to make some revisions on some stuff. So I think that, we can bottom ourselves out in October. And then I think you can experience a balance. I can take you back to like 3,900, like at least 390 on the SPY and get back towards this level. So what I'm thinking is maybe something like this happens where here's your 3,900 level, right? Or just call it 390 on the SPY. And let's say that the SPY continues to the downside here to start off October. And let's say the markets bottom out somewhere down in this region here during the month of October. And then you can experience a little bit of a Santa Claus rally, November and December, that take you back up towards this $3,900 area. And I think that that's a very realistic and even probable way for the markets to finish out the year. But it's going to depend on what happens with all the catalysts that I just mentioned to you that are coming out here in the month of October. You do not have a Fed meeting in the month of October. So you're not going to get a rate hike in the month of October. All you're going to get is data that's going to allow the market to begin pricing what they think the Fed is going to do in November. An interesting point. As soon as you had the Fed meeting on September, okay, the Fed funds futures spiked. Okay, meaning traders were anticipating the Fed finishing the year at like 4.4 Fed funds rate. Since then, and since the Bank of England came in, with quantitative easing, and they actually were going to start buying bonds. Since then, the Fed fund futures have actually come down a bit. I think last I checked, we were down to like 4.26 or 4.33. I don't remember exactly where we finished on Friday. I'll have to check on that. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. But the Fed funds futures, okay, are starting to actually move to the downside. So if you can pay attention to Fed funds futures going into the end of the year, the data that you get in the month of October could set you up potentially. Again, it depends on what happens with all the data that's going to be coming out here in the month of October. Okay. We also just got to a major level of support that I'm looking at. One level of support, you guys can see back that I have drawn on my line right here. This is the low 350s. The low 350s were these previous highs at the end of 2020. And then once we broke above it, this was the Pfizer vaccine news on this big gap up day. And then all of a sudden it became support for about 2 weeks before we experienced that big rally. Okay, that's going to be a level of support. But also when I take you guys to a weekly chart and you guys go to the weekly chart, you're at the 200-day moving average on the weekly chart. Okay, 200-day moving average on the weekly chart. Now, if you look back in time prior to 2020, right, you overshot the 200-day moving average on the weekly in 2020, right? You overshot in 2020. But prior to 2020, you saw massive level of support during 2018, which was the taper tantrum, when this is the last time the Federal Reserve said they're going to raise rates, and they did start raising rates, and they were going to do quantitative tightening. The markets had a total freak out. You crashed in December of 2018, and you stuck that the 200-day weekly moving average. Then you go back to 2016 when you had kind of that little recession scare in 2016, and you double bottomed at that 200-day moving average on the weekly. Now you are right back to that 200-day moving average on the weekly. So maybe we overshoot the 200-day by a couple of points. If you get down to like 352, 353, which is the support level that you guys see here that was previously resistance in 2020, then you gapped above it on the Pfizer news, the vaccine news, and then it became support. You're back to that level. If these catalysts do cooperate, if the CPI number for September cracks and gets down to the low to mid sevens, if earnings are not as bad as people think, you're at a beautiful support level to give a bear market rally. But again, that's all I think it would be, is a bear market rally. But that's a very meaningful and very tradable bear market bear market rally off of this key support level. So that's why we're here. Okay? That's the potential for this move that I'm talking about. That's why I think October could be a complete make or break. To the flip side of that, if the earnings revisions are worse than people think, if the inflation number for September is worse than people think, like it was in August, then you're talking about your next major support level from a charting standpoint of 320 on the SPY. 320 becomes your next major support level. Okay? That becomes your next major support level on the SPY if all of those things are worse than people are expecting. But what I have seen throughout this year, what I've seen throughout my entire career is, and this is something that has helped me for the last 16 years, things are never as bad as they seem, and they're never as good as they seem. Typically, some things kind of form. Typically, some things kind of find themselves in the middle. Okay. You give worse advice than Jim Cramer. This market will give 1929 a run for its money. What an idiot. I'm afraid that your advice will cripple families. We just had a kiss of death on the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and the Dow. Michael Burnham, you are a complete fool. You are a complete fool. Okay. Listen, if you feel that way, by all means, Mike, go for it. By all means, if you think this is going to be worse than 1929, by all means, sit back and do nothing until you get to what you consider 1929 levels. Just sit back. Just sit back and do nothing. Then I don't even have an answer for you, Mike. just sit back and do nothing. Just sit back and do nothing until you get to 1929 levels, because it's people like you that will let the stock markets completely crash. You'll never invest because you think it's always going to go lower, and the markets will recover, and then you're going to kick yourself, and then you're just going to call for the next, the next Great Depression, and you're going to keep doing that for your entire life. And then by the time you get another stock market crash, the market's 20-30% higher from where it is. But that's fine, Mike. It's your opinion, bro. It's totally your opinion. You do whatever you want with your money. I'm going to do what I do with mine. For a new trader, would you now still advise them to buy stocks for long term, or do you think they can get a way better entry in the future? Depends on what stocks. I think some stocks are getting to pretty attractive levels. I think other stocks have a lot more room to the downside and are still expensive for the environment that we find ourselves in. So it really depends on what stocks that you're looking at. Like, I bought a bunch of stocks on June 17th. I bought a bunch of recession resilient names that have gone higher since June 17th, even though the S&P and the NASDAQ and everything and the Dow have broken the June lows. A lot of the stocks that I bought on June 17th are actually higher than where they were, because I bought a bunch of recession resilient stocks. I bought a bunch of consumer staples. I bought some utilities. And a lot of those stocks are actually trading higher than where they were when I actually bought them on June 17th. Like General Mills is one of my best ones, I think, that I bought on June 17th. And I'll just show you guys General Mills. That's ticker symbol GIS. And I bought General Mills. You can see the stock is trading up here just right near its highs. And I bought General Mills literally right there. So you take a look at this stock like this, like now you're like, there's a big difference between, it depends on what it is, what stocks it is that you're looking at, what stocks that you're talking about buying. If you're talking about buying a tech stock that still does not generate any profits, if you're talking about a tech stock that doesn't generate any profits, well then that's not a stock that I think you should be buying right now. There's more multiple compression to be had there. And I think that earnings are going to be moving to the downside. And I think that you're going to be paying you're going to be able to get a much cheaper price for some, high growth tech stocks that do not generate a profit. But companies that have strong cash flow and companies that, have just monster strong balance sheets, I think some of these companies are getting some pretty attractive prices. Yeah. And I'm actually, if we can get a flush here in the next week or so, I'm actually going to deploy more capital in my long-term portfolio. And I'm going to continue to dollar cost average down on a lot of the names that I really do like, with a focus right now on a lot of your recession resilient names, because, the recession will be, officially, you'll hear like the economists and all these other institutions will officially label it a recession probably within the next, I'd say maybe 6 months or so. You probably get the official label from, world communities that it's a recession. So I'm still going to stick on a lot of these recession resilient names. I still own a lot of my oil. I still own a lot of my oil stocks. I loaded up on oil stocks at the very end of last year, beginning of this year. And it's just been a fantastic ride. I've taken profit on some of those oil names, but I'm sticking with them because I think oil is going to stay elevated. I don't think oil goes back to like $40 a barrel. I think oil trades in the 70s and 80s, and it just like kind of hangs out at that elevated price. And in that environment, I'll take that dividend, from the oil companies. And I think the oil companies are just going to do just fine. Even in the recessionary environment, I think that with elevated prices of oil, which I think that they're actually going to stay elevated, even as you go into a recession, I don't think oil is going to go back to 40. I think those oil companies can do very well. So I'm going to hold on to them to just continue to collect that dividend. All right. So there you have it, folks. All right. All right, guys. So let me, what I think about this week specifically, let me go back to futures. Yeah, we're flat. So now futures are flat. So we had a real nice rally back there. We just had a nice little rally back on futures, and we just kind of went back up there on few after being down like 0.7%. So futures are really moving around here while we're doing this live stream, guys. I mean, in just the last hour and a half, you've had about a 75 basis point move on futures. So we're really whipping around. I think what we're going to do is I would prefer if we just kind of flushed it out here this week. Just flush it out, man. Give me that spike to into like 40 on the VIX, because then that can give me a tradable bottom, and then we can trade for like a bear market rally to the upside, and then you're going to get all this data that comes out. And I actually think that you would finish if we had like a big, like I'm actually disappointed that the futures are recovering right now. When I saw futures open up and we just traded to the downside before the live stream started, and we were down like 0.6, 0.7, I was like, yes, flush this thing out. Gap down like the SPY, gap down to like 351, 352. Because if you got that big extension gap down tomorrow, you'll get a big spike in the VIX. And then I would actually think that the markets would bounce from that level, and you get a tradable bounce to the upside for the week, where you start the week really in the negative, but then by the end of the week, the markets recover. And that was going to be my game plan before the futures market just recovered. So I really was hoping we got a big gap down tomorrow. Like I wanted like a 1%, 1.2% flush to the downside, gap down. And then I would have actually looked to get long for a technical move to the upside for the end of the week. Now that we've kind of recovered this, I think there's just, now that you've recovered on futures, I think there's just more downside here. I think that maybe even if you try to bounce tomorrow, maybe you get back up to like 360, 361 or so. I don't think that there's going to be enough juice there. I think you have to get down a little bit further. And I think you got to kind of flush this thing out a bit before you get a meaningful move to the upside. Watch the VIX. The VIX up at 40 is going to be a sign for me that I think it's time for me to start to play a bear market rally and try to actually trade a move to the upside, because every single time that we've gotten up here towards 40, you see every time you get up here towards 40, when factor out the massive move that you got during the COVID crash, right? Every time you get these big spikes towards 40, that coincides with a bottom in the market, not an ultimate bottom, but it coincides with a tradable bottom where you get multiple days of upside. And we finally got the VIX starting to move the final week of September. And I'm looking for the VIX to just give me, I want a flush out, man. I want a flush out. I want a VIX move that takes me up towards 38 or so. And if I get something like that, that's the point where I'm looking to actually start to be long. That's really the area that I'm looking to start to be long. So watch the VIX. The VIX spikes up towards like 38, 40. That's when I'm going to look for longs. Until that happens, anything other than a one-day move to the upside is really all that I would lean on. I would just keep expecting the market to just bleed to the downside until you get that Band-Aid gets ripped off and you get that big spike in the VIX. And maybe that coincides with a warning from a major company. Like maybe Apple gives you a warning. Maybe, Microsoft gives you a warning. And then that can just see the markets just kind of completely cave. Maybe Tesla gives you a warning. You need like stocks like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft. If those stocks come out and give you like an earnings warning, That is what can rip the Band-Aid off. That is what can see the VIX spike to 40. That is what can give you a tradable bottom. And then you have all the other catalysts coming out later in the month. So there's so much happening this month. My trading game plans are probably going to change a lot throughout this month, depending on what these catalysts end up doing. I've got a lot of stuff on my radar. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm looking at. Futures now, like I said, now that we bounce back to going to kind of be green or flat rather on the futures, we're not really, we're basically flat. I would have much rather preferred if we had the big gap down. But now that we've kind of taken it back a bit, I'm going to look for still that 3,600 area on the futures, really like 3,620, 3,630. And I'm going to look for the level that was like 362. I'm going to look for that level to continue to be resistance and see for the SPY to eventually get ourselves down into the low 350s here, maybe to start the week of November. I mean, the first week of October, and then start to bottom out mid-October. And that's kind of my thoughts. These catalysts that are coming out may or may not change that thought process. If it does, I will certainly let you guys know, but this is going to be a fluid situation that I'm going to be reacting to. Rather than me being like predictive, I'm going to be reactive. So as I get these catalysts and they come out, I'll tell you if that changes things. If I think we go much lower, like do I think we get to 3,400 or 340 on the SPY? Do I think we get there in October? Or do I think we get there in maybe 2023? We'll talk about that, guys, as all these catalysts start to unfold before us. All right. So there we have it, folks. All right. So that's kind of my game plan here now going forward. You guys have a better idea of kind of what my thoughts are with the overall markets, how I plan on trading through this environment. And we'll take it from there. Okay. All right, guys. So there we have it. All right. So that concludes the educational part of our live stream. So anyone that's on here that is not interested in a membership of True Trading, if you're not interested in the membership, you guys can sign off the live stream. I'm done. Okay. I'm done with the live stream. You could just make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss out on any one of these lives. I do them 6 days a week. Don't miss out on any of them. Okay. And then otherwise, if you are interested in a membership, you guys can stick around. Okay. You guys can stick around and I will show you the actual platform that is True Trading Group. So you guys can see for yourselves exactly what you will get access to as a member of the TTG fam. All right. I'll show you guys everything that you'll get access to as a member of TTG. Right. Of course, you're going to get our chat room. Our chat room. Okay. Our chat room is where the mods and I share our screen. We're live on the mic. We're calling out our trades in real time. We're with you from 7:30 a.m. Eastern all the way through until the market close. We're with you every single day for the entire day. As long as that market's open, we're with you. We're not just gone after 2 hours and you'll have to fend for yourself. You're going to get access to the mobile app. So even if you can't be in front of your computer, you can see exactly what the mods are doing, see our screens, hear the audio as we talk to you on the mic, but also get real-time push notifications whenever one of the mods enters or exits a trade. You also get 2 small private study groups, your chance to talk to one of our pro traders, ask questions, really help speed up that learning curve. You get the Benzinga Pro real-time news feed, live, breaking up to the second news alerts directly inside of our chat. This will cost you over $1,000 if you go to Benzinga on your own. It's included with your membership when you pay the $11.07. You get TradingView's real-time charting software, premium real-time charting software. That's about $600 a year. That is also included with your membership when you join TTG. You get the Trade Ideas scanner. Make sure you always focus on the hottest stocks during the day. That's a few $100 a year. It's included with your membership when you join TTG. You're also going to get our simulator. Our simulator is going to let you trade stocks and options with fake money, but with real-time data. So you can practice implementing what you are learning in the courses. You can practice implementing that in the simulator before you start risking your hard-earned money. Okay. That will cost you just under $1,000 if you go to ETNA directly. It's included with your membership when you join TTG. You get our own scanner that lets you create custom scans. You get dark pool data, unusual options activity, options flow. That's a few $100 a year. It's included with your membership when you pay the $11.07. You get a trading journal that tracks all your trading and gives you statistics. You can see what you're doing wrong, so you know where you need to improve. A social sentiment scanner. We'll go through Reddit, StockTwits, and Twitter, tell you what ticker symbol is being mentioned most so you can stay ahead of the crowd. We got to welcome Ibrahim. Welcome, Ibrahim. Welcome. That means there's now just 10 spots left. Ibrahim, welcome. 10 spots left, guys, on those laptops now. Go to ttgoffer.com. They're going to go quick. Once we get to 10, they fly. ttgoffer.com. Use the code TTG121. Do not try to trade through this environment on your own. Right? A lot of fear mongering going on out there right now, guys. It's important you understand exactly what's taking place. and what could potentially change things for this market. All right. Aside from the stock screener, you also get analyst ratings on any stock you are interested in. So you can know exactly how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating on any particular stock. You get insider buying, insider selling, okay, short data. It's all included when you guys join True Trading Group. Every day, we also publish a watch list, the mods and I, with the stocks we're looking at and how we plan on trading those stocks with the game plan. You guys will get access to that. Of course, all of our courses, a simplified yet expanded upon version of what I learned working at the fund. You guys get the beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, futures, you name it, we've got it. They're all included. There are no VIP courses that cost more money after you join. There's no upsells for courses. You get the entire curriculum for the 1107. You also get a video library that has over 300 hours of additional educational video content. These are workshops that we've conducted with members, like how to grow a small account, how to trade while working a full-time job, how to resist FOMO, how to build wealth in a long-term portfolio, and so much more. You guys can then actually attend these workshops live once you become a full-time member. It's time you guys invested in something real, a platform that can actually give you access to true education and real tools and resources that can help you guys make better decisions. Now, listen, I can't guarantee that you're going to be successful just because you join TTG. I can't, I won't, but what I will do and what I can guarantee is if you join, go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. If you don't make back the 1107 at least once, I'll give you $2,214 back. That's double what you're going to pay to join. That's how confident I am in our platform's ability to help you reach your goals. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com and use the code TTG121. I can offer you double your money back because we've only had to refund 2.6% of our users, and we have a retention rate of about 78%. We're also 5-star rated on Trustpilot with over 1,750 reviews. Go read the reviews. Based on what members tell us, the reviews they leave, based on that refund rate and on that retention rate, I can very confidently say that this has worked for thousands of people. And if you put forth a little bit of effort, I think it can work for you as well. And I'm willing to back that up with a double your money back guarantee. There's 10 laptops left. As long as you see one in your checkout cart, you're good to go. You're getting one. You do not have to enter your address. You'll get a welcome email with instructions on how to claim that laptop once you guys join. We also have a 7-day trial. If you guys are interested in the trial, you can go to ttgthree.com. That is ttg3 spelled out.com, ttgthree.com. If you guys want to join our 7-day trial, you can do so. It is a one-time payment of $3. There's no automatic renewal. There's no automatic upgrade. There's no reoccurring payment. It is a one-time fee of $3. We charge $3 just to make sure that you are a real person. All right. So, folks, there's never been a better time to get your butts in chat and to trade with us because, like I said, October, it can be make or break. October could be the year that the market turns around and you experience a rally going into the end of the year, or October can be the year that the bulls just completely throw their hands in the air. You don't want to try to trade through this environment on your own. You have a ton of catalysts coming out here in the month of October. It's going to be the make or break. You guys want to get your butts in chat. Do not trade through this environment by yourself. Take advantage of these trading opportunities and then take advantage of the long-term opportunities that are to follow. Thanks for joining me tonight, folks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, turn on your notifications. I will see you all in chat.